Less than a year and a half ago, our congregation was looking for a new music director. We formed a search committee, as is our practice, and began the process of advertising the position, screening applicants, and arranging interviews. The music program at the time looked very different than it does today. Perhaps most noticeably, there was no choir at all, which meant Sunday mornings themselves felt very differently, too. There was a growing feeling amongst the congregation that, and certainly among the search committee, that we wanted the new music director, whoever that was going to be, to really do whatever they could to build a choir. We knew it wouldn't be easy. People here are so busy, it's hard to find the time to meet, and it had been tried before, but we thought it might be possible with the right person. In order to stress our seriousness, we asked candidates for the job to lead a practice choir rehearsal. Since we didn't have an actual choir for them to practice on, the search committee volunteered itself. This was the best possible way to do this, but I, as a member of the search committee, was nervous. The committee was full of people, naturally, with incredible musical gifts. 2 strong vocalists, one of whom sings professionally, a classically trained pianist since childhood, and a master ukulele player who also sings. And then there was me. Now, I had taken piano lessons very briefly as a kid, and I had played the trumpet in high school band. So I kind of know music, but I didn't and still don't know anything about singing. When we ran the practice choir rehearsal with our very first candidate, I was anxious. I was anxious about singing in a small group where there was no place for me to hide or blend in. I was nervous about that moment when the candidate heard my voice and inwardly recoiled, realizing with alarm what they were dealing with. I worried about being embarrassed after they tried to help me and teach me how to sing better, and when they learned that there wasn't much hope, that I still couldn't get it, and that they would start to realize that and feel that I just wish he wasn't here. I imagine it was uncomfortable for those candidates as well, because they were stuck with me. They had to find some way of leading a choir rehearsal with someone who was frequently off-key and singing the wrong notes in the wrong places. Having it be the minister, also, their future supervisor, as the culprit, I'm sure did not lessen the pressure either. I'm sure they had to calculate exactly how much to try and help me, while wanting to make sure that I got some attention, but didn't feel like I was being pushed around or singled out. We got through the very first interview, and even though we sang the same 2 pieces at each interview, I never got much better. I began to give a disclaimer at the beginning of each rehearsal so that the candidates knew exactly what they were getting themselves into and that they would know the varying abilities that were all in the room. The more I gave the disclaimer, the more I realized it wasn't just about managing my anxiety ahead of time or managing theirs. It was an explanation of not only what we wanted our music ministry to be about, but also what we wanted our congregation to be about. The disclaimer went something like this: we don't have a choir right now, but we really want one. We want it to be a ministry of the congregation, and we want it to be a way to build community. We want everyone to show up, for everyone to feel welcome. And so you, as a director, will never know exactly who will be there. You will have incredible professionally trained musicians on Sunday morning. And you will have people who just want to sing and learn and feel the music, but may be very inexperienced and need a lot of support. When I shared this, I wanted them to know that the range of abilities on the search committee would most likely reflect the range of the choir as well. I wanted them to know that we cared a lot about people, about spirituality and community, and that the choir needed to be a place for everyone, not just those with talent and ability. We wanted high-quality music, of course, but we wanted life, too, generated by each other, where music wasn't just a performance, but a ministry that spoke to head and heart and soul. I love how our music ministry has grown. This service is a beautiful example. I love how our final candidate and now director of music led the rehearsal during his interview, and how I wasn't made to feel like a bother or a burden, but as someone who mattered, even though my voice was what it was. And that's how it should be. I know I'm not the only one here who feels nervous about singing and insecure about it not sounding very well. I've approached many of you about joining choir and getting the response sometimes of, well, I'm not very good. And that's how I feel, exactly, that no one wants to hear me sing. I don't know if there's much hope for me or for you, at least in the technical proficiency level. But I also know this: I like to sing. I like singing here, and even sometimes I like to sing by myself when no one's around. And I bet I'm not alone in that either. So if that's you as well, I hope that you feel that here of all places, you can take the risk to be the musical person that you are deep down, even if you don't feel that that musical proficiency matches the spirit within you. That whatever ability you have, you can express and sing and feel and be exactly who you are without feeling judged or worried that someone here is evaluating you or listening behind you or in front of you and saying, gosh, if only they sang quieter. And I hope this is true beyond music, too, because our music ministry is a reflection of our larger theological commitment to being a place of radical welcome, that no matter who you are or what gifts you bring, you have a home here just by being you. No one has to prove themselves or be anything or do anything to find a place of comfort here. All you have to do is show up and be kind to each other. That's really it. A religious community, like music, is something that all of us can and should feel is deeply our own. A path to joy, to freedom, and wonder, and also love. I hope you will let yourself feel it deeply, taking the risk of singing loudly even if it feels uncomfortable, letting yourself be free of that little voice that says, that's just not me, or someone else won't like it. To make sure that this is a place that you feel that you can be truly yourself and have that song be sung. That's what this congregation is about. It's what our music should be about, too. It's not the same beauty as the perfect pitch and tone that we might hear at the symphony or on Broadway. It's a different kind of beauty, but a deeper beauty, I think, that comes when open and loving and free hearts join together. I'm grateful to experience that here, through all of you, through our wonderful choir and music team, and through our final candidate. I hope that we can continue to make it so, here together, always. Amen.